Comparing and ordering rational numbers. One type of rational numbers you sometimes need to work with is fractions. So let's look at those first. When we want to compare or order fractions, there's a couple of different methods we can use to determine which one is the greater number. The first method I'd like to look at is simply using cross products. Cross products means you're going to take both of your fractions and multiply them against their cross number. So you're going to multiply one denominator times the other numerator. This denominator times that numerator, which is where the cross comes from when we'd say cross products. And the product is the answer to these two multiplication problems we're about to do. 4 times 5 is 20. That's the product. Remember, the answer to a multiplication problem is called a product. 8 times 3, 24. There's our other product. We cross multiplied and got two products. That's why we call this cross products. And all we need to look at is which one wound up being the larger cross product. 24 is definitely larger than 20. So this side, this fraction, has to be larger than this fraction. So we're going to put a greater than symbol right here. 3/4 is greater than 5/8. Alright, let's do it a little bit different way this time. We've already determined 3/4 is the larger number, but we want to do a different way. Maybe you don't like to do cross products. Maybe you'd rather divide instead of multiply. So let's look at how we can do that. We're going to take 3/4 and we're going to divide it so that it turns into a decimal. So we're using an alternate representation for our number. We're representing the same number with a different method. Instead of a fraction, we're showing it as a decimal. So 3/4, we need to put that somehow over here into our division problem. And what the mistake people make a lot of times is putting the wrong number in the wrong place. Sometimes people set it up that way, sometimes people set it up this way, and we need to decide which one is correct. So here's a trick I like to use to help me determine where each number should go. TIBO. This stands for top, in, bottom, out. And it means exactly that. It means the top number goes in, the bottom number goes out. Well, our top number is a 3, so the 3 should go inside. There it is, 3 inside. The 4 is the bottom number, so it should go outside. There it is on the outside. So this one is completely wrong. You're going to get the entirely wrong answer for that one. We want to go with this one here, top in, bottom out. Okay, well I cannot do 4 into 3. I'm going to put a little X there to remind me that I can't put anything there. I'm going to put a decimal and a 0. And I'm going to go ahead and start dividing 4 into 30. 4 goes into 30 7 times. 7 times 4, 28. 30 minus 28 is 2. Well, I'm not done yet. I need to put another 0 here, bring it down, and divide again. 4 into 20 goes 5 times. 4 times 5, 20. This one comes out nice and even, nothing left over. Our answer is 0.75. So we write it over here, 0.75. That's 3/4. So now let's check the other one, 5/8. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to divide, but this time maybe you don't like the TIBO trick, so we're going to try something a little bit different to help us remember which number goes where. TIBO trick told me top in, bottom out, and that's very helpful. But again, if you don't like that trick, here's another one. This one I like to call the cowboy and the horse trick. Cowboy sits on top of his horse. So basically the numerator is your cowboy, the horse is the denominator. So 5 cowboy, 8 horse. This is the cowboy's house. Now who lives inside the house? Well, the cowboy does. Obviously the horse isn't going to live in the house. That wouldn't make any sense. So the cowboy, the 5, is going to go inside the house. The horse is going to, the denominator is going to go outside of the house. And now we've got everything set up in the right place. You can check that with Tybo if you want to. Top in, bottom out. There's your top number in, bottom number out. So just another little trick you can use to make sure that not only you're doing the problem right, but you're setting it up right. Okay, let's do our division. 8 does not go into 5. And again, if anytime I can't place a number, I like to go ahead and put a little X there just as a placeholder to remind me no numbers can go there. And I'm going to put a 0 with the decimal. 8 goes into 50 6 times. 6 times 8 is 48. 50 minus 48 is 2. Not done yet. Need to throw another 0 up here. Bring the 0 down, and I have 20. 8 goes into 20 2 times. And 8 times 2 is 16. So I put my 16 here, I subtract, and I have 4 left. And now I'm going to stop right here. Let's go ahead and put this 0.62 up here on the other side real quick. Looking at the numbers we have so far, keeping in mind I'm not quite done with this division problem, I can already pretty much tell that 75 is going to be bigger or greater than 62. 0.75 is larger than 0.62. So let's go ahead and keep this division problem going and see if we're right. I need another 0, bring it down, and I need to do 8 into 40. 8 goes into 40 5 times. 5 times 8 is 40. It comes out even. No leftover. So I go ahead and finish out this number with a 5. Well, now hang on. Is this right? We just said 0.75 is bigger than 0.625. 75 seems like it should be a smaller number than 625. So a lot of people will look at this and say, oh, I must have done it wrong, and turn the greater than sign around into a less than sign. But you have to remember, 0.75 doesn't stop after the 5. You can also throw on as many zeros as you want from here to infinity without changing the value of this number. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 0 there. It's actually 0.750. Well, 750 is definitely larger than 625. So if I extend this out to 3 digits, 3 decimal places, the same number I have over here, then I can see that this is definitely the larger number, just like I suspected when we had 0.75 and 0.62. So anytime you have decimals and you're comparing them, make sure you have the same number of decimal places. If this one has 3 and this one only has 2, add a third decimal place on there. Put a 0 there to finish it out. Then compare the numbers. 0.750 is larger than 0.625. 3/4 is larger than 5/8.